Hello and good evening and welcome back. I've got my book and as you can tell I have my therapy friends. So let's begin, shall we? Now I hope you remember where we were because I'm not going back. Alright? Let's go. Where the additional illustrations of crossed transactions. Patient A. I'd like to work in a hospital like this. Nurse. You can't cope with your own problems. Mother. Go clear up your room. Daughter. You can't tell me what to do. You're not the boss around here. Dad's the boss. Therapist. What is your principal hang up in life? Patient. Red tape. Red tape. Pound the table. Damn it, red tape. Son. I have to finish a report tonight that's due tomorrow. Father. Why do you always leave things to the last minute? Now, I'm going to go back before we go any further and show you the paths. Because you have a look, you see, you got... I'm going to leave these on for a few so you can have a look and really understand it. Okay? And we got this one. And on the next page, we have some more. We'll do one at a time. So we'll get that one there. Okay, back to it. Man, standing with friend. We were trying to get this cap unlocked and dropped the key behind the bumper. Could you help us get it out? Service station attendant. Who did it? See figure 22. See? Figure 22. Hope you understand this, people, because I'm not going back. Little girl. Dirty shirts are warm. Mother, go take a bath. Of course, there is figure 23 for that one. And there's the figure for the next one. Friend, our family tries to avoid tourist places. Little girl, I hate soup. I'm not going to eat it. You cook. Icky. Mother, I'm just going to leave. And then you can cook your own icky food. Analysing the transaction. Babbitt's daughter Fiona. I know, but oh, I want to contribute. Wish I were working in a settlement house. Wonder if I could get one of the department stores to let me put in a welfare department with a nice restroom and chintzes. Not sure what that is. And wicker chairs and so on and so forth. Or I could. Babbitt. The mother, Babbitt, of course, guesses. Now you look here. The first thing you've got to understand is that all this uplift and flip-flop and settlement work, recreation is nothing in Goswell's but the entering reg for socialism. The sooner a man learns he isn't going to be coddled, and he needn't expect a lot of free grub and all these free classes and flip-flop and doodads for his kids unless he earns them, why the sooner he'll get on with the job and produce. That's what the country needs. And not all this fancy stuff that just enfeebles the willpower of the working man and gives his kids a lot of notions above their class. I have a lot to say here, but I'm not going to right now. And you, if you would tend to business instead of fooling and fussing all the time, when I was a young man... Okay, obviously this is Babbitt's dad. Or this is the dad of Babbitt, not the mother. When I was a young man, I made up my mind what I wanted to do and stuck to it through thick and thin. And that's why I am where I am today. most likely depressed and hating his wife as they did back then. Of course, not all marriages were like that back then, but some were. It is actually quite sad thinking about it, the number of times I've actually met people who are actually in a relation and they're like, I hate my partner. They really hate him. Now, I'm just going to go on the record and say this because this is my opinion and my channel and I can say whatever I like. Unless YouTube disagrees. But I'm going to say this anyway. There ain't wrong with a bit of socialism. There's nothing wrong with looking after people. Nothing wrong with helping people. Just look to the Scandinavian model. They worked it out. Hungry people, hungry children learn better. People that aren't worried about poverty tend to do better in general in society. Okay? Lesson over. Of course, all opinions are valid on this channel, okay? So if you disagree, that's fine, that's your choice. But do not try to engage me in an argument because I will ignore you. And if I think you're just being abusive, I'll probably just delete the message. Back to the book. Parent responses like Babbitt's still stem from the not okay in the child. See, this author agrees with me. He felt that his children did not appreciate him, that they did not comprehend how hard he had struggled. He still felt not okay around those who had more than he did. If he had let his child be activated, he might have wept. So he took the safer course and turned the transaction over to the parent, wherein resided self-righteousness, correctness, and all the answers. A person whose not okay child is always activated cannot get on with transactions, which will advance his dealing with reality because he is continually concerned with unfinished business having to do with a past reality. He can't accept a compliment gracefully because he doesn't think he deserves it. And there must be a barb in it somewhere. He is involved in a continuous attempt to maintain the integrity of the position that was established in the situation of childhood. A person who always lets his child react is really saying, look at me, I'm not okay. A person who always lets his parent react is really saying, look at you, you're not okay. And that makes me feel better. Both manoeuvres are an expression of the not okay position, and each contributes to the prolongation of despair. The not okay position is not solely expressed in the response, it can also be found in the stimulus. Husband says to wife, where did you hide the can opener? The main stimulus is adult in that it seeks objective information. But there is secondary communication in the word hide. See, when you say hide, it becomes accusatory. When you say where is the tin opener, it means you're asking. It's just a correct request because you want to open a tin or something. But the moment you say where did you hide the tin opener, you're starting an argument. And you're being accusatory because you're basically saying the other person, you've hidden this because you don't want me to use it. And that goes back to the thing, you see, where people are stuck in relationships where they hate their partners. Or they feel their partner hates them. Just remember, you can either say, where did you hide the can opener? Or you can say, where is the can opener? One is nicer than the other. Think about it. Your housekeeping is a mystery to me. We'd go broke if I were as disorganized as you. If I could just once, find something where it belongs. This is parent. It is a thinly veiled criticism. It's not even thinly veiled, it's out there. This simulates a duplex transaction, as seen in figure 28. Actually, I'm going to show you figure 27 first, with Babbitt and Babbitt's daughter. You remember Babbitt, the staunch McCarthyist. And there is figure 28, hopefully. There you go. Where was I? Okay. The progress of this transaction depends on which stimulus the wife wishes to respond to. If she wants to keep things amiable, and feels okay enough not to have been threatened, she may respond, "I hid it next to the tablespoons, darling." This is complimentary in that she gives him the information he desires, and also acknowledges good-naturedly his aside about her housekeeping. If her adult computes that it is important to her marriage to do something about her husband's gentle suggestion, she may take the hint and become more organised with her adult handling the transaction she can. Now, I can't imagine many partners would actually go through the effort of hiding a can opener. I really can't. So you could argue I've hidden it next to the tablespoons, as it says in here. Now that is basically a way of saying, "Open your damn eyes, man," which can be seen as gentle yet at the same time very sarcastic. Of course, if you're looking for an argument, it's a good way to do it. But then again, though, if that's the way they're doing it, then chances are both partners looking for an argument anyway. Then again, I'd also argue that if you feel your partner's housekeeping is disorganised and messy, you can't find stuff at all, then you should probably take over yourself. Just remember, if you keep complaining about your partner putting things in places you don't understand, and you do nothing about it, that's on you. Communication is key in any relationship, people. And you know I'm right about that. Back to the book. However, if a not okay child is hooked, a primary response will be to the word hide, and she may respond along the lines of, "So what's the matter with you? You blind or something?" See, that's really going into argument territory. And there endeth the quest for the can opener while they wrangle over each other's merits and demerits in the area of organisation, blindness, stupidity, etc. His beer is still unopened, and a game of uproar is read along. See, this book would have come out before ring pulls came out, you know? You know that you get on Canto where you just put your thumb underneath the thing, it goes psst, and it opens up. Kind of figure those things have been around since forever, or as long as I remember. Can't imagine getting a can opener and just to get a drink. Still, that's life. Some transactions of this nature can involve stimulus and response at all levels. Man comes home and writes "I love you" in the dust on the coffee table. The adult is in command of the situation, although both his parent and child are involved. The parent says, "Why don't you ever clean this place up?" The child says, "Please don't get mad at me if I criticise you." The adult takes charge, however, on the basis that to be loving is important to my marriage, so I won't let my parent or child be activated. If I tell her I love her, she won't get mad at me. Perhaps she'll get the idea that it is important, after all, for a man in my position to have a home that looks nice. Now, of course, this is potentially an outdated idea that the man has the right to come home to a tidy home that his wife has just worked all day on. And I imagine there aren't many people that can actually afford to have couples, I should say, that can actually afford to have one person not be in employment at all. But of course, housework is a job. It's a damn fine job. It just doesn't pay anything. Kind of makes it like slavery in a way. Actually, you know what? I'm getting too deep in. Let's have a look at figure 29, shall we? And back to the book. This can turn into a complementary transaction. If the wife is okay enough to take a little constructive criticism, the outcome will be happy if she shined up the house. Met her husband at the door with a tall, cool drink and told him what a sweet, sentimental, imaginative husband he is. Other husbands just moan and groan, but look, what a jewel I've got. This approach is bound to succeed. However, if she can't do this, her parent will probably retort, "When was the last time you cleaned the garbage?" Or her child will send her out on the town to run up the charge accounts. This transaction illustrates that even though the parent and child are involved, the outcome can be amiable and advance a good marriage if the adult is in charge. The adult has a choice as to how it will respond to a stimulus in a complementary way that will protect both the relationship and the individuals in their relationship. This sometimes takes some very rapid, intuitive computing. This scene is a cocktail party. The transaction is initiated by a man whose child, in brackets that is, pinches a woman's bottom. She responds, "My mother always told me to turn the other cheek." Why is this response identified as adult? She could have responded, "Parent, you dirty old man," or even slapped him. Had she responded, she may have cried, become embarrassed, angry, shaky, or seductive. Now, before we carry on, I'm just going to say this now. Never, ever do that for the love of God, alright? Never, ever touch another person without their consent, alright? Now, I know you get a good laugh out of it. You may get a good laugh out of it, okay, from the old shows and the films where a man just clearly goes under and gives a little pinch. But that is sexual assault, technically. Okay, the law may do nothing about it, okay, but you are most likely traumatizing that person by doing it, okay? And I mean this to everyone, okay? Don't do it to a woman. Don't do it to a man, okay? Don't do it to anyone, okay? Unless you know you have some form of consent to do it. I mean, if you're in a relationship and you're in that stage, then fine. But at a cocktail party, do not, or in any situation really, apart from the one I just said, where consent is involved, do not do that, alright? Do not do that. It's not nice. Actually, the thing you want to do is, if anyone out there does think, "Oh, that would be a laugh," firstly, you're an idiot. Secondly, how would you feel if someone done it to you? Just think about that, right? Pinching someone's bottom may seem a bit of a laugh, and it may have seemed fun in the old shows and films, but how would you feel if someone done that to you and they just laughed it off? Think about that for a moment, people, okay? I like to think my audience is smart enough to not actually need that lesson, but it's there just in case. I personally know that I would not like someone to pinch my bum without my consent. And if they asked, I probably wouldn't give it to them either. Her response, however, was adult, in that she got a lot of information across in her one response. 1. I had a mother who always told me, "So you watch out." 2. Turn the other cheek. I know the Bible too, so you see I'm not that kind of girl. 3. The humour of the play of words told him, "My child is getting a laugh and you're okay and I can take a joke." It's not a joke, people, okay? And I've said this, but please do not do this, okay? It really isn't cool. It's not at all, okay? 4. Transaction completed. The person who always comes out smelling like a rose does not do so accidentally. He is a high-speed adult. As handy as this is in social situations as above, it is not as critical as there as in the home. You can walk away from a cocktail party. Walking away from home is something else. The question arises though, how can the adult work better and faster? When someone knocks on the front door of life, who is going to get there first? The parent, the adult, or the child? And with that, people, this brings us to the end of this reading session. Now, I hope you've learned something, and hopefully that lesson I gave you, that little lesson on consent I just gave you, was not needed at all. I really hope it wasn't. Okay? If it was, just remember, okay? Don't do something to someone that you wouldn't want done to you. Alright? And with that, I'm going to say my goodbyes. Okay? So you all take care of yourselves, alright? Bye.